was able to convince I was able to convince him that the 12 steps is not for just the alcoholics or the addicts. It's for each and every person living in this world if they want to live peacefully and happy in life. So I think that was what kind of made him feel, okay, I'm not, an outcast, or I'm not somebody different. So everybody needs it. I had to tell him that I too need it. It's not because I'm a professional that I don't need it. Because that first of all, the 12 steps, the first step itself, it's not about alcohol. It's not about I'm powerless over alcohol and my life is unmanageable. I think we are powerless over many, many things besides alcohol or addiction, each of us. So we as human beings have to identify what are we powerless over: our grandiosity, our ego, our lust, our anger. There are so many, problems in life, situations right from birth. I mean, when we talk about the big book talks about your disorders that you'll have, but I think each and every human being is born with it. So I think that was what got Satish to believe that, okay, I am not different, a bad human being, or, so I'll get into the program. And that's when Satish decided to get in. I think as it's more it's all of us, we all have issues in life where we need, right? Even our children suffer from all these kind of things. Even a little, if you have a child who's just a year old also wants to do something to make feel happy and make you happy as a parent. So that's how life is. So but that's why we need to apply these 12 steps in our life on day-to-day basis. So what is the main thing that we need to change? It's not about your drinking problem. I think it's more a thinking problem, because thinking is all of us. Drinking is the alcoholics or the addicts, the people who are in this situation. But I think it is a more a thinking problem, because if we don't think in the right way, in a positive way, and in a rational way, I think all of us human beings would just be dry drunks. We do not need a glass of alcohol, or we do not need a cigarette or some drug to make us angry. As human beings, we all have it in us. So if we are able to think properly, so it's our thinking process that needs to be changed. And many a times that is where we falter, because we have to work on our self-esteem. Initially, we have to work on our self-esteem. Even as children, we need to help them to work on their self-esteem, because when a child is not comfortable with his self-esteem, if he's not comfortable with himself, he will be a bully in school. He will try to prove himself. He will be very bad with other people because he will not accept authority, because he thinks that everybody is against him. So initially, I think all of us need to think of is working on our self-esteem, because our self-esteem is everything that matters. Because if I feel good about myself, then I do not need to prove to someone else that I'm good or I can do stuff. So that's where my thinking will be better. I think I'll be more rational. I'll respect others. It is about respecting every relationship. That every relationship is an equal relationship. Now, if I'm sitting here and talking to y'all, it is because you are listening to me. So it's an equal relationship. If I was talking and all of you left the meeting, or if I was using some words which many didn't understand, or I was just trying to be grandiose and talk about how professional I am and how much I earn and do all that, I think it would have been a waste of time for y'all, and I would have not reached anywhere. So it's an equal relationship, whether it's a counselor and a counselee, whether it's a husband and wife, whether it's a parent and child. Every relationship in life is an equal relationship. And because it's an equal relationship, we need to respect that relationship, because that is the only way that we can think of being happy. The lower our relationship is, the higher is our ego. So I think it's time that we should work on our relationship. First, we have to work on ourselves. I think introspecting is very important. And I do not take this, living one day at a time. I believe that we live every moment of the time. Because every moment, even at one moment, if I'm angry and I say the wrong thing, I have messed up somebody's thought process, or I made somebody sad, or I've made somebody angry. So it is me. I have to take responsibility for myself. As a recovering addict, or as any human being, every time I'm going to add this as every human being, so that you all know that even we go through the same situation every moment of our life, where we have to mind what we say. I can only control how I think, what I say, what comes out of my mouth, my actions, they're all mine. Nobody's responsible for what I'm saying, what I'm doing, or what I'm not doing. So whatever we do wrong is in our thoughts. Our thoughts change to our actions or our words. Our thoughts and our actions then change to become a habit, and that habit becomes our personality. So many a times I've heard people, I mean, I've been in counseling for more than 25 years now. Since Satish has completed 25 years, it made me realize that, okay, I am a much senior person. I don't color my hair. But it made me realize that, oh, I've been in this profession for so long, because Satish is my first patient, a client, I would say, who has completed 25 years. It's a very proud moment for me too. And he reminded me that, it made me remember, oh, okay, I am in this profession for so long. So, you know what? Actually, we have to, our thoughts become our actions, our words become our habits become what I want to be. The I in me has to become smaller. If I am a grandiose person, I am bragging about everything. I'm sorry to say, but I've attended A meetings where I have walked out. The reason being that people are so grandiose about their bad behavior. They're talking about having affairs, they're talking about doing things which went wrong, and then how that they have stopped drinking. And I don't think we can be grandiose about our mistakes. I think we need to correct our mistakes. We need to, and that's for all of us, each and every person. It's not that an alcoholic will be grandiose. It's everyone. Okay, so we need to not boast about our past, which is not worth boasting for, but we have to live in the present, because every moment matters. So we have to, I think, work on that. If anybody is sober, is recovery and is celebrating, I know people who are celebrating 20 years. They're not my counselees. I mean, not originally my counselees, but I've been counseling them now because I'm still in this profession. And they have not made, they're not able to talk to their wife, because they say she's the trigger. Nobody is the trigger for your relapse. Just think about this. Like, I'll tell you a situation. Like, I'm walking down the street and I slip because there's a banana peel or there's something, and I slip, or I don't see the brick there or something. What is my first reflex? I will grab onto someone or something that will keep me from falling. That is an involuntary action that will just happen. That is not because I'm not drinking, or because I'm drinking, or because I'm alcoholic. If I will not want to slip. I do not want to fall. When I slip, I can slip, but I will grab to avoid falling. I hear these words, I slipped, I relapsed because somebody did this. So can I say, because I slipped, I fell down, and then I'm not going to move from there? I'm going to be sitting there and allowing people to walk over me. That's what happens when you relapse. And in fact, this slipping on a banana peel will just be a moment thing, which maybe I've not noticed, or careless thing. But when a recovering addict, I mean an alcoholic, I would say addict because I'm more comfortable using that word. When he says, I slipped because somebody did something, I slipped because of this, I slipped because of that, why didn't you grab for help? You don't need a sponsor all the time. Your sponsor may not be available. There are people, there are friends, there are family. If I am slipping on the street, I'm not going to look for a friend to grab to. I will grab any stranger who's there, because I do not want to fall. So when you slip, it's more a spiritual thing. You mess up first spiritually, because you're telling yourself, I am fine. I can drink. If he can drink that, I can drink this. I can just have toddy, or I can just have a beer. And that's the irrational thought process that happens. So it's not about the drinking. I think it's more about how you think. And I think that is where you need to work on. Another thing that happens is that a lot of people in recovery, and we are not specifying again, But they give so much importance to their recovery that they feel the whole world has to be grateful to them for that. If you have stopped drinking, or if you have stopped doing drugs, or if I have stopped losing my head or getting angry, if I've worked on my anger and I have succeeded, or I'm not getting angry or not yelling at my family members or screaming and getting violent, I am doing myself a favor. I'm not doing them a favor. So if you are in recovery, do not think that you've done your family a favor. You've done it yourself, for yourself, because if you did not do it, you would still be falling on the street. You'd still be struggling with with the first drink, and you would still be in that same kind of rotten situation. So if you accept that I have done this for myself and I have to work on it every single moment of my life, I think that even as individuals, even me with all my professional skills and all my knowledge, I have to work with myself all the time. I have to correct myself. I have to tell myself, okay, stop. This is not to be done because this is wrong. So you have to introspect. You have to tell yourself these kind of things all the time. So if you are doing 25 years or 30 years, I know people who have crossed so many years, but are not at peace. They have not forgiven so many people in their life. Making amends is not saying I'm sorry. Making amends is not repeating the same thing again and again and thinking that you are you are, the greatest, and the one who has said something to you should come down, and you to become humble, or to make somebody humble, is not to humiliate him or her. To be humble is to get yourself to understand that I am responsible for myself. I am accountable for what I do. It is not just staying away from alcohol. It is not just staying away from the drug. It is staying away from all the other things that happen. There are many of us, in fact, each and every one of us who has problems or who has situations where we need to change. We need to change the way we behave. We need to change. Every minute. It's not just by attending meetings that you do it. It is by introspection. I think I'm not saying that don't attend meetings. What I'm saying is that many a times I could come across this. I was sitting for a meeting. I was attending the meeting. Then there was somebody who was drunk and he came there, and then everybody welcomed him and they were so good to him and they told him, come again. But I am clean for 6 years, but nobody even bothers. Nobody even tells me, wow, you've done a great job. And I get frustrated. And so then I went and got drunk. I mean, where is the logic in this? So these kind of things happen because of our thought process. I think our thought process is the main thing. Myself, me, myself is what we have to work on, because there's no I. None of us are just me. It is my family, my loved ones, my significant others, the people I work with, the people I meet at the bus stop. If I push somebody and get into the bus, I've done something wrong. So even if I'm aware of these little things, I think life would be easier and recovery would be much, much, valuable. You do not need people to tap you on your back and say, wow, you've done a great job. Today we are patting Satish on his back because he's 25 years clean. But that is not something that you have to look forward to every minute of your life. Like everybody in the house has to be walking on eggshells because I have not to be irritated. So my whole family is going to be so quiet and everybody is going to behave. My son or my daughter is going to be at the best behavior because dad shouldn't be disturbed or mom shouldn't be disturbed. So I think we have to get out of that, because that is the rut we are falling into. That's my opinion. I do not know if you'll agree or don't agree with me, but this is the way I look at life. The 12 steps are very, very, very good. And I come from a Catholic family. We learn the fourth step when we are 8 years old, because we do this confession, we do the fifth step. That time we did it every Saturday because we couldn't receive communion on Sunday if we didn't do it on Saturday. But now, as we grow older, we think we don't commit sins. We do not go for confession because we are so intelligent in our brain that everything we do, we think that person deserved even more. So if I'm rude to somebody, I will believe that I could have been ruder because he's rude, so I'll be ruder. That's not how life goes on. So, this let's understand that forgiveness is not saying sorry and making a big thing of it and reminding the person, you did this, but I forgive you. No, it is not reacting. You have to respond to people. Reaction is when we take medicine and we don't recover, we'll say, he's the medicine, he's reacting. When something negative happens with medicine, we say he's reacting, the reaction of the medicine. But when the person gets healthier, we say he's responding well. So we need to learn to respond, because responding is a much better thing to do. And the last piece I would even tell Satish is, I've not met Satish for a long time, but I do talk to him because we are in touch at times, is that, I'm very, very proud of you, very happy that you've completed 25 years, but reflect on what you think you need to work on, because as human beings, we need to work on little things, on daily life, daily matters, on day-to-day lifestyles, because small things that we do sometimes hurt somebody else, or it affects somebody else. Just as small things affect us. If I feel hurt, and so somebody has to be careful when they talk to me, then I have to be careful when I speak to somebody else, because that person too can feel hurt. I have come across people who say, मैं दिल का बहुत साफ हूँ, मुझे जब गुस्सा आता है ना, मैं कुछ भी बोल देता हूँ, गाली देता हूँ, सब कुछ, लेकिन मेरी बीवी को पता है, मेरे बच्चों को पता है, मैं दिल का साफ हूँ, मेरे दिल में कुछ नहीं रहता है, जो भी मैं महसूस करता हूँ मैं बोल देता हूँ। तो उन लोग समझना चाहिए। तो दैट टाइम आई आस्क्ड द पर्सन दैट उन लोग समझ सकते हैं कि तुम हॉट टेम्पर्ड है, तुम दिल का साफ है, लेकिन जो तुमने उनसे बात किया उसका क्या होगा, उनका क्या फीलिंग होगा, उनको तुमने जो हर्ट किया वो भूल जाएंगे वर्ड्स। तो इसे नहीं, लेकिन उनको पता है ना मैं ऐसे हूं, मैं दिल में कुछ नहीं रखता हूँ, लेकिन तुम्हारे दिल को तुमने साफ किया, उनके दिल का क्या किया, चुरा चुरा किया। तो दैट इज वेयर आई थिंक वी नीड to work on and really make ourselves positive and live a good life and let everybody be happy. Let go and let live. Let everybody live. We think we can live, we think other people cannot live. We pick on small things. So I will not really want to use these cliches, but yes, let go, because everybody is responsible for themselves. We are not responsible for them. And let everybody live and everybody be happy. And Satish, all the best. And all the best to all the members who are here. Stay healthy, clean meaning in your thought process. Because I think all of you here are away from your best friend, alcohol. So let that be buried now, and all the best. Have a nice life ahead. Thank you, Satish, for giving me this chance, and thank you all of you for sitting and listening to me. Because if you all didn't do that, I don't think I could have been talking so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
या अभी नेक्स्ट हैंड रेज रविशंकर भाई का है। रविशंकर भाई, मैंने आपको अनम्यूट का प्रॉम्प्ट दिया है, आप शेयर करें फॉर नेक्स्ट 5 minutes.
Before that, Ravi, can I record or shall I stop the recording, Ravi? Ravi, shall I stop the recording or keep it on?
No, I didn't record.
No, I'm asking, shall I record it or stop the recording?
Please stop. Please stop.
Okay.
Please stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.